of the payment history. Okay. However, if you're wanting to make massive impacts in the utilization area as it pertains to your credit cards, I need you to shift and understand that your payment date is the latest possible date you can make a payment before a fee is assessed. The statement date is the latest possible day you can pay before that credit card company tattletales on you, which means send your balance and information to the credit reporting agencies. Okay. So if you are looking to make massive impacts and you are wanting to see your scores increase, if you cannot tackle the on-time payment history, and I'm going to give you a hack for that later as well. If you are looking for utilization, you need to pull your credit card statements. I don't want you to focus on the due date. And let me be clear, you can set on automatic payment. I'm totally okay with that. But I want us to start looking at if we can make our payments 2 to 3 days before the statement date is about to close. Okay. So when you pull your statement, there's going to be a begin date and an end date, or we'll say open date and close date. You're going to want to pay 2 to 3 days before then. You don't want to use the card until the statement date closes. And then that way, anything that you use on the card will not be reported to the credit reporting agency. Let me know if everyone understood. If not, I can spin the block. We can spin the block on that tip rather. Okay. I don't see anything in the chat, so I'm feeling like everybody understood. Okay.
So I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So you're saying to pay the 2 to 3 days before the close date.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That is correct.
Okay, and not the due date.
So I'm not telling you to miss the due date. So here's the thing. When you look at your statement, some people's due dates are before the statement date's supposed to close. For instance, my Capital One, the due date is on the 11th. My statement date closes on the 13th. So for me, I'm going to pay my balance down to the lowest possible number on the due date because my due date comes before my statement date closes. However, for my Bank of America, my due date is on the 11th. My statement closes on the 7th. So for me, I'm going to pay it down to the lowest possible number on the 5th so that when it closes on the 7th, my balance is as low as possible for that particular card. So when you're looking at your due date, you have to see where your due date falls. You can always keep a minimum payment on the due date if the due date is totally on a separate. So like some people due dates at the beginning of the month, but their statement closes at the end of the month. So you want to take a look at what the due date is. Also, please remember that when it comes to payment history, your due date is you cannot be reported as late until you're 30 days past due. Right? So if you're 1 or 2 days past due, legally by law, that creditor cannot report you late to the credit reporting agency. That does not mean that they cannot assess the fee. All right. So I want to make sure that we're noting the difference. So if your due date comes before your statement is about to close, and when I say before, you're talking about like 2, 3 days, pay your balance down to the lowest possible number if your due date is before. If your due date is after, you want to focus on your statement date and paying it there because that's your I call it the tattletale date. That's when they're going to run and tell you snuck in that boy or that girl that your mama told you not to bring over to the house. Okay, that's that day. Mm-hmm. Stephanie in the chat said, I did this last month and it worked. Come on, Stephanie, with the proof. Because we like proofs here. Okay, we love proofs here. All right, so that's the first two. So the first one is payment history at 35%. Second one is utilization at 30%. What is number 3? Who can give me number 3? Come on with the age, Paul. What's the percentage on that? 15. What's the points?
82.5. Sorry.
Let's go. Hey, Roger. Yes, 82.5.
Just saying hi.
No, you can chime in because we have a quiet bunch. You know, I like activity. Okay, I like activity. So we can join in. I appreciate it. 82.5 points. You got it. So what that means is back in the day, you know, people used to be like, I got the credit card, I'm gonna pay the credit card, and I'm gonna close the credit card. Absolutely not. When you close that card, it affects the age because the age is the average of all of the trade lines that are listed on your credit report. So if you choose to go ahead and close it, it's going to recalculate your age. For best practices or for knowledge base, you want to have an age of 7 or older in order to get the max of the 8.25. If you are under 5 years, then you are not getting points in this area. Again, guys, what you want to do is you have the foundation. You now want to look at your credit report and see which areas am I missing points, because I'll have people come to me all the time and be like, my inquiries is the problem. And I'm like, we're going to talk about inquiries in a minute, but inquiries are not weighted as heavy as these top 3. So if you're not hitting, I like to call it my top 3, you are not going to make massive impacts, because if your baseline number is 300, you add 165 points for payment history. I'm sorry, 192.5 points for payment history, 165 points for utilization, and 82.5 points for age. I promise you're over 600, right? In order to get a house. And again, I do know some lenders that you can get a home if you're in the 500s, but ideally, if you guys want to go through traditional fundings like an FHA, you know, things of that nature, or a conventional loan, you're looking to get a 620 or higher, because your interest dictates the percentage of what that is going to be required for you to pay back. So a lot of people think your credit is what dictates how much house you can afford. No, no, no. Your income dictates how much house you can afford, and your credit score dictates what's that interest rate going to be, which ultimately is going to impact your payments. Okay. Love it, love it, love it. All right. So we did payment history. We did utilization. We did age. What's number 4, guys? Drop it in the chat. Thank you for participating, Miss Barbara and Paul and Roger. And well, I'm gonna say I don't want to say it wrong. This Ms. Z, because I'm not gonna mess up your name. I appreciate you. Credit risk. So credit mix. You got it, Miss Barbara. And what's that percentage? What's that percentage, guys? Okay. And what's the points? It's 10%. So for you guys that may not have the chat open, credit mix is number 4. That is worth 10% of your overall score, which is 55 points. You got it, Paul. 55 points. All right. Credit mix is that you need to have, so think about how when they talk about investing in stocks, you need to have a diversified portfolio, right? The same thing applies when we're talking about credit. You want to have revolving and you want to have installments. Revolving is your credit cards and your credit lines. You get to pay it, use it again, pay it, use it again. Installments are your student loans, your car payment, your mortgages. You need to have balance. If you do not have balance, you are missing out from this total of the 55 points. Last segment. What's the 5th one, guys? Can someone drop what the 5th one is?
New.
Come on, Roger said new. It is new or hard inquiries. And what's that percentage, my love?
10 and 55 points.
There we go. Come on. So it is 10%, 55 points as well. So when a person comes to me and is like, oh, my credit score is low because of my hard inquiries, if they are not applying for something every single doggone day, that is not factual, because that's only worth 55 points, right? So when you're looking at your credit score, your credit report, because the number, and I like to tell you this, the number is a calculation based on the behaviors that have been reported within the last 24 months. That's that snapshot that number is calculated on. Okay. So when you're looking at your scores and you're pulling it, that number is generated in real time at the moment with the information that's available. What we need to do is dissect the actual report. Okay. And figure out, am I hitting the goals You're fine. You're fine, Paul. Paul said, I kept hitting the wrong key. It's all right, boo. You want to make sure that you're looking at, am I checking the box and maxing out in all 5 of these areas? Or is there something that I need to work on? Anyone has any questions, concerns, comments? Hey, Miss Karen.
No.
Hey, Mike. Hey, Erica.
Well, I sort of do. It's not that big a deal since I have
Sure, what's the
zero
question?
credit. I have
Mhm.
zero credit because of
Mhm.
having no accounts.
Uh-huh.
I don't have a FICO score. I mean, I have no
Okay.
FICO. So if I get new credit, which would be my 55 points, does that automatically get me 300 points for having because the minimum is like 300 points, right? So I have no.
300 points is when you have a heartbeat. So it would actually put you in the system for them to start calculating you once the statement information is reported.
So I would get 55 points initially.
So no. So you normally lose points in that area, but you're going to gain points in the payment history, in the utilization, if it's a credit card, in the utilization, and then in the age, once it gets calculated, you'll get a couple there, right? So the way that the points work is you might get a ding because it's a hard pull, but if you did the accounts that I talked to you about, you wouldn't lose any points. So to your statement, you would get the 55 points automatically.
Okay,
For
so
you,
I'm just trying to
because
get a
you're doing the
picture of
soft
what
pull.
points I would start off with. And if I got some sort of credit, like a credit card or those options that you told me to deal with the bank.
So if you did the kickoff, or if you did the credit AI, you're looking at starting out where you would probably be like in the 500s. But again, so kickoff is going to report once you open the account. If you do like credit AI, it's not going to report until the first statement. So to answer your question, is going to depend on when that information posts as to what your number would generate it as.
But you think it would
Because
be
you'd be hitting a lot.
somewhere in the vicinity of 500 once it gets started?
Correct.
Like after a
Correct.
month or something?
After a month. You got it.
Yeah,
You
okay,
got it.
thanks.
Welcome. Any questions, guys?
Yes. I'm sorry, I need to raise my hand.
No. You can go right ahead. We here together.
Okay.
We family. We
Okay,
family.
thank
Sorry.
you. I'm wondering if it matters if you have a secured credit card versus an unsecured credit card. How
When you say
that may
it matters,
impact
you're
it.
talking about in rating? It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. What matters is how are you using that card. So so for you guys that are in the room that may not, hold on one second, because my husband's touching ice and y'all are hearing all the background. Hold on. I'm sorry. You good, babe? You're great. You're doing wonderful. Yeah, I was talking about you to your face. Sorry, y'all. This is really family. So to answer your question, understand the difference between secured and unsecured. So the question that was asked was like, hey, does it impact my score differently? It really doesn't when it comes to you setting it up. When it goes on the report, it is going to say secured or unsecured. However, secured means that you put collateral up. That means that you went to the bank or you applied for a credit card and that company may have said, hey, since we don't have you in the database for us to say if you're good or not good, we're going to want you to put money down in order for us to supply you capital. Normally, when you put that money down after a year, that company will go ahead and give you back the secured funds and transition that card into an unsecured card. So it doesn't matter if it's secured or unsecured, as long as your utilization when the statement date closes is below that 20% if you're wanting to be in the 700 club, or that nice below that 10% if you're wanting to be in the 800 club. Great question.
Thank you.
Welcome. Any other questions, guys? Hey, Stevie, welcome. I'm Steve. Welcome back. Carol, Miss Barbara is always active. I love when you show up, Miss Barbara.
Are you talking to me? I'm sorry, I don't know your name. Hello?
Angela, Irving, Erica, Denise. Oh, we got more people in the room because my thing just said. go over the page. Shoot.
There we
We
go.
got a bunch of people in the room. Welcome, guys.
Evening.
Welcome.
I
Does
think you
anyone
had
have any questions about the credit foundations?
No, can you hear me, Megan?
I can hear you.
Miss Carol, you're highlighted as green as if you're trying to say something, but we can't hear you, boo. If you are.
I was wondering about, well, I don't have credit cards, but they don't let me get anything with my credit. And all of them is the Equifax, TransUnion, Experian, all is
Mhm.
a little over, 500. And I still don't get any credit, but
Mhm.
I'm still paying on, some of the things that I done got, some of the cards that I done have.
In
And
the past? Okay.
yeah, and I'm still paying on a few now, but I
Okay.
don't have over, $10,000 worth of credit card debt.
Okay.
I only have small.
Small cards. Are they open or closed?
Well, one I'm still paying on, which is Revy, and the rest is not. They're still open, so it's hard to get to them and pay them. But I'm gonna try to get them out. I'm trying to get them out the way because I want a house. I want to get a
Got
house.
it.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing a tip that I can give is if you're trying to get out of debt, there are two things that I need you to focus on. So number one, go to your credit card, look at your statement, and if you have a credit card that is over the limit, so let's say your credit card limit is $1,000, but it says that your balance is 1,500. That means you're over the limit of what that company provided you. I want us to be strategic in how you are trying to pay off the debt. Number one, I don't believe in being overwhelmed, just me personally. I do not believe in putting ourselves in a situation of being overwhelmed, but being clear and creating a plan. So if you can do this, I'm going to say this again. If you are in the space that you can apply what I'm giving you, apply it. If you cannot apply what I'm giving you, put that in your, this is what I'm going to do in the future, and have a specific date as to when you're going to execute it. Okay. So for the people that are credit cards are over the limit, the tip I want you to put into play is you want to go ahead and pay the minimum payment times 2 plus $4 before the statement date closes. Your statement date is when your balance is calculated and interest is assessed. Okay. So if your balance is 1,500, the minimum payment is $80, and the minimum payment is $200. I need you to pay that minimum payment times $4. That will help you when the system closes and is about to hit interest, that you are not put back over the limit again when the interest is applied. Okay. You have two options. You can do the snowball method, which you start with the lowest card and you work your way up. But I'm telling you that if any of your cards, I'm sorry, does someone have a question?
No, I was just listening.
Okay. Okay. So if anyone has a situation like this where you're over the limit, I want to be clear that no matter how much on-time payments you make, because you're using more than what has been given to you, no new creditor is going to give you funding. I want you to think of it as, think of your credit the same way you think of dating. A lot of times you find that no one actually wants to talk to you until you got somebody, then they want to be with you. That is the credit card company as well. But they look at how are you utilizing the cards that you currently have now, okay? So if you are navigating and you're looking at your reports and you're seeing, hey, this card is over the limit, I need us to focus, have laser focus on that particular card before we either start the snowball method or the avalanche method. The snowball method is where you look at your smallest card, and then instead of making all the other cards that you have, you just make the minimum payment, but then you dump as much of your expendable capital into that smaller card every single month with a goal to pay it off within 1 to 4 months, 1 to 6 months is ideal, right? And then once you finish that card, you then go to the next card, go to the next card, go to the next card. This is not going to help if one of those cards is well over the credit card limit. So you have to kind of navigate those waters accordingly. So this would be a plan that when you look at your reports, you're looking to see how you can maneuver. Miss Carol, when it's time for you to look for another card, a lot of things that people don't pay attention to is that there are things that will auto deny you. How much debt to income ratio you have. There's a book called You Are Approved, Never Get Denied Again. I will go ahead and grab the name and the author. I'll try to grab the link from Amazon and put it in the chat. This book breaks down what all of the creditors require for you to get an approval. What is an automatic denial means that you don't even get to be approved or denied because you might have just closed on a bankruptcy or you have 3 recent late payments, right? Those are things that the system will see and they'll automatically shut you down before they can even give you any funding. So I will go ahead and get the link, give you guys the link to that book so that you guys can take a look at it. If you want to purchase the book or not, completely up to you, but you can kind of see where that goes. But a lot of times when we're applying wrong. We're not applying with the right amount of income. We're not applying we're not applying with the right utilization balance, because understanding some cards you have to have a job, other cards you do not have to have a job or a designated income for you to get approved, right? So keep those things in mind while we're going through. I saw someone had their hand raised. Was
Thank you.
My pleasure, my love. Did someone still have their hand raised or did they lower it? Because it popped up with hand raised.
Second baby wasn't a mistake.
I don't see it here. Okay.
Before
So
you
if you
move
still
on,
have a
can I
question,
ask you something?
say that again. I'm sorry, Roger.
Before you move on, can I ask you again?
Absolutely.
You make the minimum payment ×2 plus how much?
$4.
Plus $4. Can you
Uh-huh.
explain again what that is the strategy you do? Is that to pay down a credit card, or what is the strategy of like 2 times your minimum payment plus $4?
That is if you're over the limit. So if your credit card is over the limit from what they provided you, to avoid having to pay so much interest and avoid it impacting your credit score, because anything over 50%, your credit score is going to be shot of your utilization of your card. So you want to make sure that you're keeping it down. But if a person, let's say they're at 120% of their credit card utilization, this is how they would get out of that situation, is by paying the minimum payment ×2 plus $4.
The $4, is that arbitrary or is that part of a formula that just works?
That's a part of a formula that my mentor and I found works.
Okay, so you've determined that $4 is the magic number. So 2 times
That is correct.
plus $4. Okay, thanks.
You're welcome, my love. Ms. Z said, are we discussing collections? If you have a question about collections, we got about 5 more minutes. You can come off of mute and ask the question before Miss Megan starts the training.
All right, fantastic. Are we able to remove collections?
Yes, you can remove anything off your credit report.
Fantastic. So, and also if like I'm getting I got a letter the other day and one of the companies is suing me. And I have a date for February, for court through Zoom. So I did send like a letter with certain things that I have to they have to respond between 30 days. So was that the proper thing to do?
That is great, but definitely don't miss the court date. So here's I'm so glad that you said this, Missy. Number one, guys, when they pull you in and they tell you to come to court or they try to take you to court, do not miss it. It is an automatic default judgment. It will go against you and you're going to lose it. Okay. So we don't want to have that experience. So Ms. Z is right on point. You want to respond. And then you want to make sure you show up to court. Now, a lot of people get scared when they go into court, but here's something that I want you to understand. When you go into court, you have the wonderful ability of saying and negotiating on your behalf. What that means is when you go into court, you can physically go, hey, I don't really know the parameters of this day. I would love to know more information. And then when you are negotiating a settlement amount, I'm very aggressive. I used to work for the collections department with Chase and PNC. I've worked in the financial industry for over 10 years. And I'm telling y'all right now that if it's a primary person, so we're talking about like if you owed Bank of America and Bank of America is taking you to court, they're a little bit more rigid. But if it's a third party collector like LVNV, Midland, any of those companies, you have a little bit more breathing room. I still don't care if it's first party, that's called first party when it's with the original creditor, or if it's third party, which means it's with a debt collection company. I don't care who it's with. My negotiation always starts at 10% of the amount that I owe. Listen, I got kids, okay? This is my situation. This is how much I can pay to resolve the issue. When you guys are in court, always advocate to, once the debt is paid in full, that debt is removed off of your credit report. You want to get it in the court documents, because if they don't do it 30 days after you've paid off that debt, you can take that document with the court decree plus the proof of your last payment and send it into the credit reporting agencies to have that debt completely removed from your credit. Please understand, if anything is out of date or has errors or inaccuracies, you can dispute it on your credit report. So Ms. D, when you go to court and you're negotiating on your behalf, I would say start at 10%. If you're willing to be gangster like me, if not, start at 50%, and also negotiate that once the payment is the final payment is made, that the debt is completely removed off of your credit report. Okay.
Okay, awesome. And the other ones that I have on the credit report, can those be the same procedure to send them the letters?
So it's going to be different based on what's going on. So the other collections that you have on your profile, it depends on the designation. Also, something that you want to research in your state is what is the collection time frame for your state. There's a limit. So I live in the state of Texas. They cannot take me to court once we've hit 3 years. I think it's 3 or 4 years in Texas. That doesn't mean it doesn't stay on the credit report. That just means they cannot take me to court to try and collect the debt. You want to find that out, because how you're going to tackle the debt is going to be different based on the statute of limitation on that debt collectability. That's the verbiage. Statute of limitation on debt collectability, right? So that's number one. Depending on, is it with the first party or a second party, will also depend on how you're going to navigate the dispute program. If the other creditors are taking you to court, then yes, you're going to want to respond, and then you're going to want to advocate for yourself accordingly. If they're not taking you to court, then how you would tackle that collection would be different.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you.
My pleasure. Any other questions before Miss Megan gets started?
Raquel,
Yes,
can
my
you hear
love.
me? Okay,
I can
Steve
hear you,
had
my love.
questions. Steve had questions at the very beginning. I'm not sure if he still does, but I don't know. For some reason, you guys couldn't hear us. Me and him were both talking, but nobody heard us.
Oh no, I didn't. Is it
Oh.
Mr. Steve with his camera on and the glasses? Is that you, Mr. Steve,
Yeah,
that has a
that's
question?
him. Yeah.
Come on, unmute your mic, honey. What questions you got? Let me ask. I don't see
You
you
gotta
in the
unmute
chat.
yourself.
You're on mute, Mr. Steve. Okay, I'm clicking the button. I asked
Go
you
for
to unmute.
There you
Oh,
go.
there we go. How's it going, Mr. Steve?
I'm good. I have
Awesome. What question do you have?
I have a question for Megan. It was what's her name, Michelle? Refer me to Megan because I'm just starting out. Actually, it's my daughter. She's starting a trucking business, and we just barely started. We don't have nothing, no revenue or nothing. She said you might be able to help us to direct us to where we can find funding for this to get this business off the ground.
Yeah, we can do that. That's more of a Thursday night class. This is mostly just about debt and credit, but I can definitely send you some resources tonight, and then they'll get you started. I actually have a book on just transportation grants. So I will give you that. It takes you from literally getting your license all the way up to how to procure more trucks and move your business across the country, really. So I will put that in the chat for you, and then on if you want to come to class on Thursday and Wednesday, I can give you a little bit more information and go through a couple applications with you.
Okay, you said that you have classes on what Tuesdays and Thursdays? Is that what you said?
Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Wednesdays and Thursdays, and because I don't see it on here. I mean, on the what that might.
It's a different class. It's Navigating the Nation's Grants with Megan P. That's the one from Lesko.
Can you send me this information somehow? I don't know.
I'm gonna put it in the chat.
I'm not a commuter. I'm not a computer guy. And
Oh, well,
I'm just really, like this is my second, third time in here, and I didn't even know this stuff existed, and now I don't know how to navigate or any of this stuff. So how do I know when I get your response? What do I do?
open. Do you have the keys? Can you see the chat?
Key to the chat? Man, I wish
Yeah.
my daughter was here, man. She's the one who knows all about this stuff.
So what I would suggest in this particular case, Mr. Steve, is to come back to the platform on Wednesday or Thursday and look for Megan's name. If you need some support, ask your daughter to talk to you so that you can log into the platform and be able to get that help, since we're not able to share screens with you to see what you're looking at, okay? But if you go into the chat, Miss Megan is going to drop her information, and that way you can at least write it down, and then you and your daughter can review offline, okay?
Okay, so she's gonna give me some resources. Is that correct?
No, she's telling you to come to the class on Wednesday or Thursday, like how you're in this class today on Sunday.
Right.
You're going to get an alert that you'll be able to come to class with Megan on Wednesday or on Thursday. And that way your question specifically about trucking and about getting capital, you can dive into that a little bit further in the grant class. Okay.
Okay, is that gonna be in an email? They're gonna send me an email?
You normally get alerts, so I'm not quite sure which opt-in option you have, if it's via email or via text message. What I would recommend is when you get off the call today, go and check your email to see if you're getting email from Lesko Help, because I get emails all the time from Lesko Help telling me about different classes that are available. That way, you're able to see all of the classes that are available. Also, Miss Megan just dropped in the chat, if you guys have a trucking business, there is a PDF in there. You simply have to click download and it gives you some information on transportation grants that are available. But if you're wanting hands-on help, you need to come on Wednesday or on Thursday to meet with Miss Megan so she can specifically talk to you about grants, okay?
Okay, so then when I get this alert, it's gonna tell me Wednesday or Thursday what the time and everything like that.
That is correct. So did you get the alert for today's class?
No, I don't know. I'm talking to you. I don't know.
Well, I'm saying, how did you get to today's class?
Oh,
Did you get alerted to come in today, or did you log into the platform?
Yeah, I logged into Lesko Help Tour, whatever it is, and it got me
There
here.
we go. And that's what you're going to do on Wednesday or on Thursday. Okay, Steve?
Okay. But they're going to tell me what time and all that, right? When I'm looking
all
for
the, just like you got the information that to what time today's class is, you get the same information on Wednesdays. He gets you updated on all the classes that are here for free.
Okay, I'll find out. I'll see what's going on. Hey, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, man. You guys are great.
It is my pleasure. Don't forget to click the
download. Class?
Absolutely, Roger. Go ahead.
On the platform, at the very top left of the menus, there's a place called Our Calendar. It's like it's like the second one down. And if you click Our Calendar, it'll show all the programs that are coming up. And you'll have to, and it starts from today and it just keeps going on into the future, right? And so you scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, and it'll show all the ones that are coming up. You'll eventually get one that says on Thursday, and I'm looking at it right now, Thursday, December 12th, it'll show my time, it'll show your time on when you look. Right. It'll say Thursdays, Lesko Help presents navigating the nation's ... because it doesn't find the whole thing there. But you want to say navigating, that's the key, because you can see that does show. So you just put down all the different programs, and it says it's on Thursday, and it says Lesko Help presents navigating and some other stuff. That's the one you want to sign up for.
Okay, I got you. Okay, thanks a lot. I really appreciate it.
Okay.
You guys take care. Have a good evening.
You too. Did you get the information out of the chat?
Oh no, I haven't. I'm talking to you right now. I don't know how to. Oh, I see it.
It's at the bottom of your screen. There should be something that says participants, chat, react, raise hand. Do you see that? If you open up the chat,
Megan just dropped the link.
Yep.
I see it right there, but I don't know how to do anything. I don't want to seem dumb or nothing. You know what I mean?
No, it's okay. All you have to do is click on it. It says right there when you see Megan's name, it says Fun Nation Trucking. If you click on it, there's an option to download, my love. That's all you got to do is click it. It'll download to your computer, and then your daughter can help you
Okay.
Or you can wait to come back on Wednesday or Thursday so that you guys can review it further, okay?
Okay, that guy said Thursday. Is that correct?
Yep.
That's what Megan said. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. Have a good evening.
It is
Yeah,
our pleasure. Don't leave us now. Don't leave us now, but thank you.
why?
Don't leave us. Don't leave us. We still covering credit. So if you got credit questions,
Oh
don't
no, I
leave
don't
us.
have no credit questions right now.
Okay, then no problem. You have a good night, Mr.
Yeah,
Steve.
you too. Take care. Thank you so
Bye
much.
bye.
Steve.
Does
All right.
anyone else have any other credit questions before Megan takes the floor? And I've dropped my contact information in the chat. You guys are so welcome. Thank you guys for being here.
Yeah, Raquel,
Any
I do have
questions,
a question,
concerns, or
so
comments?
it's not going to be too
Hey,
complicated.
David.
Hey, what's up, girl? What up? First, thank you and Megan for doing this. Really appreciate it. On a Sunday night, you got nothing better to do, girl?
I have a bunch better to do. I'm in this kitchen right now because I thought I had 1 whole hour and I got to feed the family. But I value y'all, and I want to make sure that I'm giving more than I take in everything that I do. So don't worry. Megan pulled me. We're gonna be here and show up and show out. What questions you got, Mr. D?
Well, I got your typical business owner challenge due to COVID. I had a pretty good business before COVID. COVID destroyed it. Destroyed my savings, destroyed my credit. I was living on my savings and my credit for a few years. I was fooling myself that I was doing okay because there was money there. And then when credit started being maxed out, I'm like, okay, this is not good. So I consolidated all the credit, paying it off slowly. Several of them have been paid off already. They started with the tough ones like Discover because they're real litigious, and it just kind of went down to Capital One. So there's still a couple of years left for that. So during COVID, I really didn't have many options. I got in my Ford Escape and I started driving Uber. By the way, never drive Uber part-time. It will kill your body and your car. All right.
Facts. I did Lyft. I did Uber
Same
and
difference.
Lyft.
Same difference.
And I'm
girl.
telling you, I agree.
Yeah. So it's a great part-time gig. If you do it full-time, you're going to end up with no money and no car and no health. All right. So don't do it. Don't do it. Great part-time. So,
but if you guys are traveling, just a tip, if you guys move to a new city, I do recommend that you start driving for Uber and Lyft. It takes you to all parts of town, and that way you can kind of figure out your way around. So just a quick tip.
You figure your way around, but don't do it full time. Anyway, so I couldn't be without a vehicle because mine died. I still had 9 payments left. They were pretty high payments. So I did a voluntary repossession because I didn't want to make 9 more payments on a dead car. It needed an engine and a transmission. So I wasn't going to do that. Obviously, that tanked my credit even worse. I went out, I bought a 2002 Chevy Trailblazer, and it's near death. So they do something very interesting in Utah. When your car won't pass emissions, they give you a voucher for between $5,500 and $7,500, and the $7,500 is for an EV. I went to a dealer a couple of days ago. I explained the situation to them. They said they could get me financed. The payment is almost half the price of the EV, but there's a lot of other fees. I will be financing $10,800, but it's probably going to be high interest, and I really don't want high interest payments. So is there anything I've heard a million different people say, if you do this, this, and this, you can lift your credit up 100 points fairly quickly. Is there any way I could do that? So to use this voucher to buy a newer vehicle, to get my credit up another 100 points by doing certain things that you guys know that we don't.
So here's the situation. That is a great question, but that is not a blanket question that can be answered. And the reason that is I don't know what is missing on your profile to be able to tell you, do A and you're going to get B. A lot of people go to YouTube University, which I love, but they're not understanding if that particular method or hack or tip is ideal for them because they're talking to a specific person.
Right.
So with that being said, if your profile, so let's just say if we're talking about a blanket person, I understand your situation with consolidation. Everyone goes through a different consolidation program. So if your consolidation program consolidated your debt but did not close your cards, then I would say you would need to look on what do your loans look like, because then you can probably do the Navy Federal hack, which is where you go get a pledge loan and you go ahead and open up a pledge account for like $500. You pay down 95% or 90% of the card of the loan, and then it will shoot up your score, right? But that only applies if you have open credit cards, but you don't have open loans. that are showing, you know, a great amount of utilization used, right? Or paid down. So to tell you what play, for lack of better words, that you would run, I would need to see your credit report to be able to answer that. I did put my email in the chat. I saw that Miss Debbie said that my email information is not in the chat. If you scroll up, my information is there, but I'll drop it again for everyone to get it. I'll put my email in the chat so you guys can shoot me an email. But to give you a laser session as to what's going to be beneficial for you, Dave, for transparency, I would have to see your credit report because
Not
I
a
wouldn't
problem.
be able to tell you what's going to be ideal for you. Also, a lot of people are not aware that there are some banks that you can get an auto loan with that does not report to your credit. So you may be able to run to them and see if they are accessible. See, I love when Megan co-signs my stuff. Come on, Megan.
You got to be strategic on who you're applying with.
But you got to figure out who you're applying with and how that's going to help. Because again, sometimes if you don't have a loan on your credit report, you do need a loan on there, which is why having the car report is good. But other times, if you already have a loan showing up like your mortgage or something of that nature, you don't necessarily need the car to show up as well. So I'm going to go ahead and drop my information in the chat. You guys can also send me a message within the portal, right, Megan? I can message in the portal, right? Okay. For me to help, and I'm going to.
And then I have two comments about this as well. It's for in dealerships in Utah, they have dealerships pretty much everywhere. Actually, it's. Hold on, sorry. There's stuff going on behind me. Okay, so there is the
Oh wait, hold on, Megan. Before you say that, let me say one thing. Y'all need to. I'm sorry, not y'all. When you guys go to dealerships, I want you guys to cap how often they can run your credit with the vendor. So what that means is sometimes the dealerships will run you through 15, 20 different places. When you give them your ID, you need to let them know either not to run your credit at all if you already got an approval with the bank, or cap them as to how many lenders they can send you through. Because sometimes what will happen is even after you've secured, they'll run you through like 500 different times. You don't want to do that at all. And Roger also dropped the point. Okay, I'm done making. Sorry, I just wanted to drop that before.
No, well, I mean that is kind of what I was going to say, but like what I'm saying is that there's a buy rate and then there is an actual contract rate for your interest rates. So when you go to a bank, let's say, and secure a loan for a vehicle at the bank, your rate is what your rate is, and then you take that with you to the dealership. They can't up your rate from there, but if you go through them and apply there for their rates, they'll get the buy rate from the actual lender after they submit everything, and then they'll tack on whatever they want. Usually I believe they tack on like they can tack on whatever they want, honestly. And it's a big markup and it costs a lot of money for a lot of consumers, and just because people don't understand, like, they have the right to do that. There was a study done that was like 78% of dealers arranged loans included a markup of 1.8%, like across the board.
And if you're getting a used car, guys, they can add an interest rate up to 28% of what it is that you get. So if you guys have the ability to get a new car, and FYI, you can ask them to show you demo cars. Demo cars are cars that the actual dealership uses, like my 2015 that I have. I won't get rid of Bertha, but when I got it, it had under 100 miles. And it was only owned by the dealership. So by classification, it was still a new car, but because it had 100 miles on it, it was considered a new car to me. So I was able to get a lower interest. I was able to use my wiles. And I always go in and tell them that I already got approved from my bank with an interest rate at like 5%, 4%. The reason why you're giving them that is so that when they go to look for you, someone who can fund you, they already know that they're competing against your bank, and they want to compete because they get to put extra credits and stuff so that they can get more money as a dealership. Yeah. Maria has her hands up.
So let me finish on this real fast. Like, and if you're getting an EV, then you make sure that you are getting those tax credits for purchasing that EV, not them getting the tax credits to purchase and sell it. So because a lot of dealerships are double dipping on their tax credits as well, because you can get up to, for a commercial vehicle, you can get almost, I think it's $44,000 back in tax credits. And for private vehicles, it's $7,500. So the cost, that's half your loan just in tax credits right now. You know what I'm saying? So
I got a question for you along those lines then. So with this program, there were only 4 dealers, 3 private dealers and 1 like big dealer. It was Toyota. So I went into one of them yesterday, and it was a Hyundai Kona, beautiful, clean, very nice. They were selling it for pretty low mileage, like under 50,000 for 14,999. But when we started running the numbers, and I showed them the coupon from the state, they're like, "Oh yeah, let's do this." They said the way this works though is you're paying tax on 18,999, not 14,999. So it's upping the price. I really didn't understand. And they were talking about because you're getting a $4,000 tax credit, you know, because it's an EV.
no, yeah.
So are they keeping half of that? Because you just said it's 7,500 tax credit.
Yeah, no, they're the tax credit. Yeah, that sounds like it, because they're your tax credit across the board for federally, like that's not your state, that's federally is 7,500. I mean, I'll double check right now, but it's 7,500 as far as I know, and 44,000 for a commercial vehicle that's over a certain amount of weight. So it's like they might be doing something, but I would just bring that up and be like, that dog, because this says that. I'll give you the actual link to so you can do that.
All right. Now I also have an LLC. Would it be smart to purchase it through the LLC and link it as a commercial vehicle and get a higher tax credit?
Well, you also get the write-off too, but you may, if it doesn't go across that weight, you know, if it doesn't meet that weight barrier, then it may or may not help you. But either way, it's going to help you business-wise. But I've never done that, so I don't know. I don't know how to tell you that and be correct. So I don't want to lie to you and tell you something that's not true. So I've never done it like that.
That's right. I know
I
some
will
financial
ask
people
a
also.
dealership. Yeah, I was gonna ask a dealership. I think that it's okay. All you have to be concerned about when you go through buying it through your business, number one, you don't have to show your credit or anything like that, but you have to make sure that the insurance applies, because sometimes the commercial insurance is higher than the personal. If you're willing to eat that cost, then I would say go ahead and do it.
Wait, so if I buy it through my business, they don't look at my personal credit?
No,
Really?
that is correct.
From Low Income Relief, and today I want to talk to you about some December financial
Hold on
relief
one
programs.
second. Okay, thanks. So yeah, if you go through your business, you ask them for the application before you get there. You have to make sure that your business is showing the revenue that it needs, and they do not look at your personal. You would let them know that you're not going through your personal, but you want to make sure that you get the quote as to what the insurance is going to be under, because it's going to have to be a commercial insurance.
Well, I'll call my insurance girl and ask her about that. All right, cool. Thank you so much for your help.
My pleasure.
What's your zip code, David? Real fast.
I just moved to Sandy, so it's 84070.
Okay. I'm looking right now just to put that to rest right now. It's gonna drive me nuts if I don't. All right. Appliances, business energy, efficient building tax. Ooh, energy efficiency too for buildings. Here we go. This is the okay. I'm just gonna put this in the chat because I feel like this is way too much for us to go over right now. But come see me on Thursday because this is a grant. I didn't even know it was until just right now.
What time on Thursday?
2:00 Pacific Standard Time.
So 2:00. All right, so that's 3:00 my time Thursday. I won't be there. I run a meeting at 3 p.m. Thursday.
Okay. Well, just tag me and I'll just get a hold of me.
I'll pop in late.
Okay.
All right, and Maria still has her hand up. Just
all right, go ahead, Maria. I'm sorry about that.
Okay, one quick question, ladies. I would like to know if it was too late to join your challenge and get assistance with debt payment strategy.
It is not too late.
Okay, excellent. What would I do to participate?
Fill out that form. I fill out that form, and then we are going to be taking on new people. We're not sure when we're going to be able to add them to the program, but I'll put you on the list. So that we can't get you in right this second, but we can probably in about 3 weeks or 4 weeks.
Yeah. Okay, that's wonderful. And fill out the form so I can get to the form under your the PDF documentation section.
Yeah. Yes, it is in there. Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I have a question too. My name is Cynthia.
Hi,
Hey,
Cynthia.
Cynthia.
Hi. My question is for Raquel. It's been about 6 months, but I broken my leg and I couldn't walk. But before that, the company that I had, one of the companies that we were working with did not pay like a large sum of money, so we were not able to pay like my bills. And I signed a consolidation, and that's when I broke my leg, so I couldn't work. So I was like in bed, and so I haven't paid anything except for my car.
Okay.
And everything is shut. But even though I signed the consolidation, and I still, because they were going to add on my personal loans to it, I don't know where I stand at the moment, but I know that my credit is shot. I mean, my credit before was close to 700, but now it's like maybe 450 or
So
500.
so what's the question, Miss Cynthia? I want to make sure that I
I'm not
answer.
sure where I stand as far as the consolidation contract that I signed, because we were not completed, and that's when I broke my leg and
Okay.
couldn't walk or work.
Uh-huh.
So I'm kind of like not really knowing where I stand with the consolidation company, because
So
I did
number
sign.
one, have you reached out to them? Have they been
No,
sending you emails or anything?
no.
Okay. So
But
if you want to know where you
the last time I did talk to them, I did tell her that that like we were in the middle of adding the personal loans to it, and it was like the people that were working on it, either they left or they left the file. So
the
I
only
don't
way for
even
you to
know.
know where you are, Miss Cynthia, is for
Mhm.
you to contact the company to ask them, because I wouldn't be able to answer that question. Even though you may have signed the paperwork, if you haven't given them everything that they need to move forward, then you're probably still in the beginning stages. But to know where you want to go or how you want to move thereafter, I would say the first point of contact would be to give them a call and find out. Like, just ask them, where do I stand? What does it look like? Or what do I need to do? If you decide that you want to move forward, ask them, what do I need to do in order to move forward? Or what do I need to do to close out, so that you kind of can then make the best decisions for you moving forward?
Okay. Well, the thing is too, I did have some insurance on some of my credit cards, so I know that
Have you
some of those
reached out
credit
to the
cards.
insurance yet?
No, but I think that a lot of those debts were probably cleared out because of the insurance. Because if I was disabled or couldn't pay the credit card, then
But you
the
had to
insurance
reach
was going
out
to
to
pay.
them.
Okay.
So did you reach out to, so this is what I think and I did this myself when I went through my divorce. I had insurance on every single card. So just in case the room doesn't know, a lot of your credit cards offer an insurance. And if you're disabled or you lose your job or something happens to you, it will pay your debts for a certain amount of time. The problem here, Miss Cynthia, is you're asking a lot of questions. They're really great questions, but you would be the person that would be able to get this information. Number one, if you have insurance on the cars, you should have reached out to that insurance company connected with the card, because they don't automatically jump in for you. It's just like an insurance claim with a car. If your car gets into an accident, you have to call the insurance company to let them know, hey, I've been in this accident. It's the same premise. So if you don't let them know, they don't know to jump in on your behalf to support you, right? So you have to take the first step by reaching out. So if you have not done so and it's been a while, you want to reach out to them, because sometimes you default and you're not able to use that insurance. So you want to call. So the credit cards that you had insurance on, call them, ask them if they've already put it in place. If they have not, see if those credit cards are willing to take whatever your past due amount and put it either on forbearance, or if they're willing to defer. Citi Card was, I love Citi Card. When my uncle passed away from my aunt, Citi Card did not charge my aunt interest for 1 full year because he was the primary on the card, right? So these are different things that you have to go into implement. But the number one thing that you have to do is you have to get up and find out where you stand. So that means contacting the creditors, as well as contacting that consolidation company and asking them flat out, where do I stand right now with you?
Okay.
So that way you can make a plan as to what you're going to do moving forward. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome. Great question. No problem. Okay, Megan, all yours. Sorry. Love you. You're amazing.
Well, thank you. Oh, I want my screen come back on though. Okay. Okay, we are gonna switch gears. Did everybody pick up the stuff I put in the chat for the commercial and for personal vehicles? There is a lot of information with that website I just put in there. If you guys have questions about tax credits, I suggest please go there and spend some time. It's worth it. I swear. It seems like a lot and it seems overwhelming, but it's really not. It's just you just need to know what you are entitled to, what you should get, what you should be using, how to use it, and it's very straightforward. Just put your zip code in. Anyway, so I have to transfer take off my grant hat and put on financial literacy hat. It's hard. But yeah. So does anybody have any questions about anything we discussed thus far for for what we just discussed with David? Sorry.
You did great, Megan. I appreciate you
Thanks.
dropping the facts. Thank you.
Listen, there's so
Yeah.
many.
Please, one quick question. What is the email address? What is that? I'm sorry. Somebody put an email address or link in there. It's for something about Life Now. Let's see. What is that?
That is my email address.
And what
That's
should we
my
use that
email address
for?
and my website. So there were people in the comments that were asking for my information. So I was putting that in there. So if they want to send me a message directly, or if they wanted to review my stuff, they have accessibility to reach out to me.
Thank you so much. Thank
My
you.
pleasure, Ms. Maria.
Okay. And also I want to reiterate too, if we are doing this program on Lesko, please make sure you bring your questions and your issues here to us, like so that we can help you with them. Because when you guys email us and that's kind of our personal time, like we charge off of Lesko. So like we charge everybody else in the real world. And in Lesko, we offer this for you guys for free through this course. So that's kind of just be aware of that so you're not taken off guard. Let me see here. Okay, I'm pulling this. I'm going to drop something in the chat. This is what we're going to be using today. I can't remember if I already dropped it in the chat, but I will go back and look because yes, I did. Okay. Good, because I couldn't find it again. So yay. All right, so there, I'm going to put it again right here. All right, and paste. This is what we're going. I got kicked out, so I missed some of the information. Oh no, Deborah. What? Please hold. I'm having technical difficulty. It says word could not start last time. Safe mode could not help you. Then why are you telling me about it? Some features might not be available in this mode. Okay. No. It's all, do you want to start in safe mode? I feel like no. I want to not start in safe mode. Should I start in safe mode? Anyone?
I don't think so. I mean,
Okay, good, because it's opening now, and I'm like, I don't know. We're gonna take our
well,
chances tonight.
sometimes you
we
do
can-
something that you would normally do if you wanted to go into safe mode. So then when you do it accidentally, it asks you, "Oh, did you want to start in safe mode?" And you go,
No.
I don't know. How the hell will I know?"
Right. I'm like, I feel like you do what you do. Do your thing. You're the computer. Shoot. And now it won't even open. Now it says world will not. Oh, okay. Well, that's weird. I put it into the chat from Word. Like, how the heck does it not open now? Whatever. Okay.
Do you need me to download it and share it from my screen? I can give you.
I mean, yeah. Could you give me your remote control access to your screen, please?
Yeah. Hold on 1 second. Let me.
I know I'm so afraid it's gonna kick me out, Deborah. I'm so afraid. Zoom has given me like PTSD. I swear. I'm like terrified every time I get on a Zoom call to open up too many windows, to have too many things going on, to even have my camera on. Like I feel like it's just Zoom does not love me. Is what I think. I have ghosts in Zoom or something. I don't know, but it hates me. So yes, let's share your screen and I'll just give me remote control access and that way I can do my scrolling on my own. And you can cook.
I got you, friend. Hold on 1 second. It just pulled up. Let me minimize everything else.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm trying to close everything down so when I share.
And exactly, I'm sitting here like, I mean, I have like about 32 windows. I mean, I do have 32 windows open up right now currently, so maybe that could be part of the issue. Let me shut that. There we go.
I hit share. Oh, okay, here we go. Desktop. Let's just give you desktop. Oh wait, okay, let's go here. Let me know if you can see it, my love.
I can't, but that's
allow.
Oh, hi. I need to go say I'm in the wrong screen. That's why. It's okay.
It says it's sharing.
Success.
Okay, I got your screen.
Okay.
Okay. Please.
Let me ask the for control so I can give it.
Okay. Okay. Whoa, whoa, whoa! What is that? Nope. No, 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 no. We're not doing that. Get up. No, 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 no. Sorry, baby.
It says you have access now.
All right, yay.
It says waiting for Megan to take control.
I'm trying to take control. Do I have control? I have control. Okay. Sorry, I enjoyed that way too much. Okay. There we go. Let me put this on this screen and call it a day. And then not mess with it. All right. Right, there you go. That's me, right? Okay. All right. All right, so we are going to do a quick survey real fast. Let me see if I can get that out right here. Because I just realized that's not in there. Okay, so yeah, please stop. All right, so we are going to do a pre-training survey for today's training. Kat, this is not going to work out for you, honey. Come here. Stop. You have to get down, baby. God. All right. And I can either give it to you guys in a PDF form and then you guys can answer it. But I would like us if we could just go over it and just answer it in the chat. But it's only like 5 questions. So which of the following features which of the following are features of strong goals? Choose all that apply. Time bound, realistic, action oriented, and money related. Does anybody have any opinion about these? Strong goals. Time bound. Yep. Realistic, I think. Anyone else? This is going to require participation, guys. Okay, cool. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Nora.
What were the choices again?
Time bound, realistic, action oriented, and money related.
Pretty much money related, I would think.
Yep, I think so too.
Something that we can probably start December, January, where we can start making money, monthly, something, better than the way things are now.
Facts, right? Okay. All right, so that's good to know. Okay, so we got mostly action, money related. Yep, action. I think action too. Okay, so number 2 is values don't matter when making financial decisions. It always comes down to the math. Is that true or false?
I would say true.
Okay, we got a true, we got a false, we got a false. More trues.
Say it again.
What? I'm just gonna everybody answers. Everybody's saying false, 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 true, true, false. Okay, so okay. Number 3, most people aren't susceptible. Oh my God, why is this such a hard word? Susceptible to outside influences around how they spend money. Is that true or false?
They are or are not?
They aren't.
They aren't? Oh,
No,
that's false.
I'm asking you. Is
False,
this is a true or false
false.
ask
They
question?
are, they are.
Most people aren't susceptible to outside influences around how they spend money. False. I feel like that's definitely false.
Right.
So, oh no, come back.
Hold on.
I just accidentally shut it. Hold on.
No, it's right here. It's right here. I say that
got it?
it is false. There you go. I say that it's false. I mean, I say that you said most people aren't susceptible.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of people that are susceptible because of the fact that everyone's always trying to keep up with the Joneses. So I'm with y'all.
Right.
Let's go. Okay, I'm gonna go back on mute so that I don't.
Okay, but I can't.
Hold on, Megan. Let me put myself
It
on
won't
mute.
let me
Hold
scroll
on, hold on.
down.
You're scrolling. You are the one scrolling down. So hang on
Oh
one
no,
second.
I
Let me
know,
grab
but
the
it's not
mouse.
going. It's not scrolling down to the right thing. Okay, it's fine.
Okay,
Okay,
hold on. Let me grab the mouse.
I got it.
No, I'm trying to mute myself. Hold on.
Oh. Okay, why isn't this working again? Now I'm stuck again. Okay, so we got that taken care of. So we're gonna take that test again at the end of the, not test, but survey. Why would you turn down? Okay.
It says that it's waiting for you to take control again.
I have control. I know, but it won't move.
Click away and go back in and see what happens.
We really have to work this issue out for this to work, bro. Okay. We're gonna ignore it and let's just do this. Okay, so did you guys download or I open up the PDF that we put in the chat?
I did.
Okay, good.
Just printing it.
Okay, that works too. Okay, so it should be editable when you open it up, and it's for we are going to talk about values. We're going to talk about, okay, good. Everybody's doing that. We're going to talk about why things matter to you and how we put them and prioritize our expenses and our bills, and how we should better manage our money, I guess. So give me 1 second. Let me just see why this is not working. Does it say I still have control? Because it's not going for anything. I see your mouse. I see my mouse. I don't see anything.
Okay, so let me stop sharing and I'm gonna reshare and give you back control again. So hang on.
Okay, sorry. Thank you.
No, you're fine.
This is horrifying.
Okay, let's try it again. All right, request for control, Megan.
Got it. Right. Open. I want to control. Okay. It won't. There you go. I did it.
It says it's waiting for you to take control.
All right. Well, I can't. It's not letting me do it. So
Okay, so I'll go back to page 1 or tell me where you want me to go.
I don't know. If everybody has their guide, I'm just gonna go off of what I can do on my screen, and then I'm just not gonna share screens. We'll just go. We all know what we're talking about.
Okay, so I'll stop sharing screen. I got you.
Okay. Because I have no clue what to do. We have to fix this problem. That's all I know. Okay. So we have. Oh, go back. Sorry, I'm trying to open it up on my screen so I can read off of it. Okay, so we're going to talk today about like the values and money and how our beliefs are surrounding money and our habits and stuff like that. When we talk about values, we're talking about people, things, and places that are important to how you and people who are in places and things that are important to you, and like how they guide you to make your decisions. And values that shape you and prioritize your time, energy, your money. So like values are kind of like the building blocks of how you think about what is important and what you should spend your money on and what you shouldn't spend your money on. I don't know if anybody else has that one Oh, good night. I was like, what is that? Yeah, I can't have to shut the chat, or else I'll just read the chat. That won't work for us. I'm too ADD for this. There's too much, extra things. So like our values will shaped our childhood. Like for me, I know for me, I put a lot of value on certain things that now these days are not as at all important to me. And so it really does shape how we spend our money, how we save our money, and what we actually utilize our credit and our time and energy on. So we are going to talk a little bit about that, and we are going to I want you guys to actually do the activities if you can. You don't have to do it right this second, but if you guys have this done and by next week, that'd be awesome if you could turn it in, because I would like to see some of your answers. But your values really do shape the way you save. And a lot of times with the reasons we don't have savings is because we are not making enough, or we're not utilizing the money that we do have to create the financial habits that we need, right, for our future. And like, we don't put away the money. We don't, I know I don't. I'm just as, I mean, I teach this, and it's still hard to break bad habits. So we all really need to like just kind of shape our idea of what is worth saving for, and what things are important and what things are not. What's important for my family now is going to be different from yours. So there's not blanket solutions. So, like some people need to be saving for college for their kids. Some people need to be doing other just different financial choices. So this is going to be different for everybody. But we're going to go through it for understanding how to go through over an overview of understanding how your values can help you like set your achievable financial goals, and like how you can mitigate some of the damage that some of your old values and your old beliefs have caused. Like if you've gotten into credit trouble, or if you've gotten into high debt and can't get out from under it, or if you've had a bankruptcy, and kind of reiterating how you got there and kind of fixing that and looking at things a little bit differently. So that is what this course is going to kind of go over. Does anybody have any goals for their money right now when it comes to savings, or when it comes to using it for big purchases or something like that? Does everybody have like a plan for that or a strategy for that? Could we hear about it?
I have goals, Megan. I wouldn't say I have a strategy for it. Like I'll give you an example. So I've got a fairly substantial amount of money coming next April, because I was involved in you probably heard about the $5.5 billion credit card settlement with Visa and MasterCard. Yeah, so I signed up a lot of affiliates, brought in over $1 million, and about between 20,000 and 50,000 of that will be mine. That'll be next April. So I'm kind of weaning my way towards that. A lot of that is going to go directly into my business to build it. I run something called NOMOSA, which is No More Starving Artists. And we really, really want to get it rolling. We got to hire some VAs. My partner has some great ideas. So I'm pretty clear that the best investment I can make is in myself and in my business. And that's what most of it's going to go towards, with at least $5,000 put aside for a rainy day, because I don't want another rainy day like those years of COVID, because that wiped me out.
I think wiped a lot of us out. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing. Yeah, that's awesome. And also I want to talk to you about your organization you just spoke about later.
I'll put my email in the chat.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Also, I have grants for you. Okay.
So do I just speak, or do I raise my hand?
Yep, you're good. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So I do have money saved up. I was always a single mom, so I knew what it was to have no money, and then what it was to have, to work and just make. So I've saved money. I have no debt or anything like that. But my situation right now is that I guess I'm not working because our ooh, that was me.
What is that? Why?
Oh, because my industry was slow. So right now I have a foster kid, and she's like a child traffic burn victim. So I'm trying to get like a house and a bigger place and a car, and all that stuff takes more money than what I have saved up. So I'm trying to like apply for grants that are just going to be for housing and a car, because she gets surgeries like in Stony Brook. I don't know where you guys are from, but I'm from New York City, and Stony Brook is out in Long Island. It's like hour and 40 minutes for me, and she has to be there like twice a month, and it's a mission. So
Yeah, it sounds like it. Actually, yeah, it sounds that twice a month is a lot. A lot.
yeah,
That's a
no,
lot.
but she needs the skin grafts and everything because 75%
Yeah.
of her body was burned. So I'm trying to and I had another kid too, but we had like in February we had moved into a place where we gave the down payment and security and the brokerage fee and stuff like that. And then when I went on February 1st to turn my key, and I had 2 trucks already loaded of my furniture there, everything was gone and it was a scam. So yeah, so I was homeless for like 2 days. And I learned at that moment that it didn't matter how much money I had in cash. If my credit sucked, no one was going to give it to. I offered to pay people 6 months in advance rent, and no one would take me serious. Like I was offering them cash, and just because I didn't have a number, a credit number, I was in the street for 2 days.
Yeah, no, it is a thing. It is a thing, and like I know in California, there's a law now that like if you offer in lieu of a down payment and like that, like if you offer a certain amount of months in rent, they have to take it, or it's discrimination against people with bad credit. But it's like that just happened, like I think in the last 2 years.
Yeah, no, that law was affecting me. They didn't want to do it because they thought it was like a scam, or they were doing. I was just like, I'm homeless. I'm literally homeless. I went to like 8 different places. I had gotten my foster kid back that same day, and the courts gave me like the weekend to get a place. I had to get a place by Monday, so I ended up in another area where the rent is like $3,200 that I pay. So I'm not working. I'm paying $3,200, and I'm thinking like, oh, I could prepay this on for a mortgage,
Right? Yeah, and
So I'm trying to work
that's got me moved. So that same feeling.
Yeah, no, it's hard. 3,200 a month, like ouch, it hurts.
Yep, it's a lot. I was paying 36 in Beverly Hills, so I fully feel you.
And thank you so much for caring for someone, because I'm telling you that I know that you have a given heart and you're going to be blessed beyond measure. But absolutely, follow I don't know if you were in the beginning, but follow the foundations in the beginning, and I'll definitely look out, because I have family in New York. I'm from Jamaica, but I grew up there. So I'll see if I find out any opportunities or options that are available to kind of help you, because my sister works for the city.
Oh, nice. Because I want to try to get more kids and stuff like that, but it's so hard because I can't, I don't
have to have the space.
I have to have the space, and it was just like, it's just been a wild roller coaster. And over here, the foster care agencies are just disgusting. They, like they tell you to treat them like your kid. You treat them like your kid, and then they tell you like, oh, you have an addiction with them, or like you have like, wait a minute, she's mine. And the only reason that she's still with me is because she turned 15 and she was able to advocate for herself and say, hey, no, I'm happy here. I'm safe, and stuff like that. Otherwise, they would have taken her away from me. And
Nora in the chat, Benny dropped some. It says he dropped some resources to help you. So definitely check out the chat. Because we want to make sure that we're supporting you.
If you see my finger, I've been here for 3 days, and all I've been doing is writing, trying to figure it out, and I'm still like, I joined your organization, or this thing on Saturday.
Well, we're glad you're here. Definitely go to the PDF, go to the resources, and Benny sent he got you something. So definitely check that out.
I just put it in the chat too for some other stuff.
Okay, good. And Megan put some stuff. Miss Z has a question too.
Miss Z, I ain't trying to either.
Hi. Hi, how are you guys? Thank you so much for this incredible group. I actually joined you guys a while back, but I got injured. I fell, and I slammed my head on the street, and I had a concussion for almost 3 months. So it was really bad.
But you have like a whole TBI or just a concussion?
Yeah, I had a TBI.
Oh yeah, me too. So that's why I was wondering.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was really horrible.
Okay.
But I'm
Well,
back on my feet, thank God. So now I'm trying to pursue, my life's passions. And so my end time goal is to have an enterprise, but in the meantime, I'm a transformational coach, for youth and adult mental health. And I also empower, them to find clarity, hope, and strength, so they can embrace change, and they can step into their potential, their full potential. So
there you go.
that's the business that I actually want to start with, with the coaching, because I already have a few clients, and I want to expand it, do the coaching, do fitness programs for the youth as well, boxing, self-defense, that's what I'm into. I've been master personal trainer for over 30, oh my gosh, over more than that. I don't
Oh,
want
wow.
to release my age, no sir.
No, that's
Um,
okay. But what question do you have,
Yeah.
Missy?
yeah, so it's like in reference to that, is starting off with just one thing the best thing for me right now,
When you say
like
one thing, can you
coaching.
elaborate it? Oh, okay, so that is a business question. You would have to see what you need for you. I do think it's a lot easier just because I have multiple legs and I've tried to do, like if you try to focus on 500 things, it kind of makes it a little bit more tedious for you.
None of it gets
So
done.
what I would say is the area in which you have the most time, that is what you're going to do 4 hours of working in your business and working on your business on. The other legs of your business that you want to curtail, pick a specific date. Like for instance, Thursdays is a day that I do training. On Mondays, I'm focusing specifically on my admin tasks for all of my businesses. On Tuesday, I'm specifically dealing with credit. On Wednesday, I'm dealing with my coaching clients. On Thursday, I'm pouring into me so I can pour into others. Then on Friday, I'm doing my TV show. So if you want to do all of them, you have to allocate your time and figure out how you're going to do that. But understand that within the day, you're going to have to spend 4 hours doing tasks that's going to cultivate money for the business, and then 4 hours doing tasks that's going to keep the business running without you. So we can't tell you what to do. We just got to tell you how, you know what I'm saying? Like you have to figure out how your day's going to work.
Wait. That was perfect.
I'm sorry.
Let me just say that is perfect, because the way she just said that, she just gave you all the whole formula of all of how everybody's goals should be. She just gave you a smart goal, really. So it's specific, measurable, action oriented, reachable, and time bound. So you just put it all full circle right now. That was awesome.
Thank you.
You didn't even realize you did that.
What were you gonna say, Ms. D?
No, I was gonna say, do you think there's grants in reference to coaching?
Yes.
Oh,
There are
fantastic! And
grants
like,
for everything.
yeah,
Yes,
coaching in the gym. I think that would be like a great starting point.
So definitely come to Thursday's class so that
Yes.
you can ask for the grant
Yep.
support
And
that you
Thursday
need.
is what time's class? Is it Thursday?
It's 2 p.m. my time.
2
I'm
p.m.
Pacific. I'm not sure, depending on where you are.
She's West Coast.
East.
Oh, well,
So if
then
you're
it's like
Eastern,
whatever,
you're
6
3
o'clock.
hours
Yeah,
ahead.
3 hours ahead. Yep.
Is it?
Okay.
3 hours
Awesome.
ahead.
Thank
Okay.
you.
No problem. Thank you guys. Go
So
ahead,
that's
Megan.
all right. So that's kind of what where I wanted to go with that, is like when you guys are making goals for yourselves to save or to do anything, like start a business, whatever your goals are, make sure that they are specific, measurable, action oriented, and reachable and time bound. Sorry, my cats are angels. Yeah, thank you. Yes, that is actually all of our problems. I think is that we all, so Pamela has in the chat that she said Raquel just answered my question with her SMART goal strategy. My business should be better, but I am all over the place.
And let me be clear, I am all over the place as well. Like I don't want a lot of people try to front and listen, even though I have that schedule, I'm a human being. So there are times that life be lifing and I don't follow them. So what I personally do is I do have my schedule on the wall. I also am very intentional. I know everyone's not extreme as I am, but I have a calendar link that my family has their own code on. So if they want dedicated time on any specific days, they can go to my calendar and lock off so that way I'm not taking a speaking engagement. I'm not filming. I'm not missing anything, right? but you have to put if you know what your weakness are, I don't care if that means it goes on your phone, it goes into your calendar, figure out what's going to work best for you so that even if you stumble, you can still recenter yourself accordingly. So I do separate my businesses for days. I don't know. I still be all over the place, y'all, because it's life, right? Life happens. So we have to give each other's grace. My goal, Benny said, my goal is to fix my old computer repair business, credit and personal credit. I want to start a new tech support business. I want to build generational wealth. I want to say this, guys. Generational wealth is a buzzword right now. I want us to set an intentional goal. You can't build for the generation if you don't have your roots where it needs to be. So I love the fact that Benny already has it outlined. Like, this is what I want to work on. This is where I want to set up. And my end goal is to be generational. That's
Barbara
great.
just dropped that. Yep, Barbara just
Okay.
said that. Oh, awesome.
But I want us to be intentional about what we're doing right now. So definitely being intentional about what days are you doing certain things. Please don't try to do everything in that 24 hours, because if you do, you're going to cause yourself a lot of stress. So I definitely want Megan to get through the whole thing. And I love the participation. You guys are dope. I love when y'all come and show up and show out. Go ahead, Megan. I'm gonna shut up. My bad.
No. It's funny because Barbara just dropped in. It is the framework that is magic. Planning is fundamental, and it really is. That is the key to everything. So when you're making these goals, you want to know exactly what you want to accomplish. You need to be able to visualize the beginning, the middle, and the end, and see it. And then you want to know why you're doing it. So you want to have your why, you want to have your how, and you want to know kind of and you want to really take inventory. Is this something you really want? Is this something that you really need? Is this something that you need to do now? And then make it measurable. How much, how many, how will I know if I met my goal? Like, things of that. Answer these questions for yourself, because that is kind of where a lot of people get caught in the weeds and you realize a couple months later that you've spent a lot of time doing nothing. And that's why, because you don't know how much you need to do, or what you need to, how many people you need to talk to, or like whatever your goal is, you don't know how much it is. So action oriented is the next step in all of this, is like, what specific actions do you need to complete in order to meet your goal? For me, that is personally, I need that section built out beyond, when I say extensive, beyond extensive, because I will see something that says, oh, block out time, like how Raquel just said, block out time for da 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 da. I need to know when I have to get up. I need to know when I need to brush my teeth. And everything is a chore for me because I'm so ADD that nothing is a habit. Everything's a chore. Everything is hard for me to do. And so getting like online, getting these like modules done, all these things are tasks for me. They're not, and nothing is habit. So for me, when I am doing action oriented stuff, I am breaking out like down to the minute sometimes, and I time block. So for me, that's what works. But if you're ADD, that may work for you, and I have a great resource for that. If you're not, and you're normal, God bless you. I'm jealous. But it's very you have a better understanding of like time. You don't have time blindness and object permanence and whatnot. So you probably can get through things a little bit with less blocked time and like less planning. For me, I need step-by-step instructions. If I'm going to clean a room, I need to know what things to pick up first, and I need that written out for me. So it's different. So just do what's best for you, and do it to your potential and your capabilities. Make sure that it's something that is reachable. And you guys always ask yourself, is this something that I can actually do? And is it something I can actually get to? Is this even remotely possible? Is this fantasy? You gotta kind of be honest with yourself. And all of this is really taking a big inventory on what you're capable of. Time bound is, when will you reach this goal? When's the end result? What is by which date will I have this this completed, or at least started, or this portion completed? So those are what SMART goals are. And so this is focused on that. And when you're dealing with money, you really need to have that planned out, because when it starts going awry, you can always reel it back in and get back onto plan. So that is something to keep in mind as well. Does anybody have any questions about any of that before we move on? There is 2 areas in your workbook for you to apply your SMART goals to. If you guys want to fill that out, that'd be awesome. And just in regards to money, like how what your goals are with money, how you're going to process all of that, and how you're going to move forward with that. There's two little areas right there. And then Raquel, sorry, did you say something right now? It's just echoed.
No, I'm sorry.
She said, okay. So let me see. So then we come to like external influences on your money, right? Around your thoughts and your beliefs and like I know for me, when I was younger, money was always it was always there in the background, like a worry. It was like we never had enough, or we had enough, but we barely had enough. We were taking on renters, and I like when I was a kid, like really young. So it was just like I didn't know if that was because we needed to, or because my mom just liked having people in the house. So I thought they were there to watch me or something. I don't know, but come to find out, it wasn't that. So shush up, Raquel. So external influences do impact the way you make your financial choices as an adult, because you have to have your mindset set to making money and then not hoarding it or not spending it so freely because it just doesn't matter, so you have to have your goals and you have to have good habits. And that's kind of what we want to look at, is like, what are your money habits? Do we even know what our money habits are? Does anybody have any good examples of like a good money habit or a bad money habit? Please do tell.
Pamela. Pamela has one.
Yeah.
Pamela said, I think about the mindset all the time. It still
eludes me.
Oh, still eludes me. Oh, I love it. Carol said yes. I'm going to tell you a bad money story that I had to realize for me was holding me back. My mom was a model. She started modeling before she had me. She had me when she was 18. And we moved to New York when I was I think I came to the States when I was about 3. And my mom, of course, when you're a model, you get like these lump sums. You don't get paid all the time. And my mom would get a lump sum, and then instead of like paying up bills for a couple of months, because my dad worked a 9 to 5, my mom was always the entrepreneur. My mom, I remember one time she went to Bloomingdale's or Macy's, and she spent $3,000 on a lingerie, a robe, and matching shoes. Okay. My father came home and she was like, "You look so beautiful, blah, blah, blah." I would never forget it. It was a white, like sheer situation, and it had like the fluffy, feathery sleeves and matching shoes. Okay. And that was when kitten heels was in. Okay. And my father walked in, and my father was like, "Oh my gosh, T, you look so good. You look so nice." And then my mom told him how much he spent. He said, "Take it off right now." Right. But that was like the 3rd or 4th time that my mom had done something like that. So and she always did it whenever she got a lump sum, she would go to like Bloomingdale's or something like that. And it made me not want to have brands. Like it made me, as a person that was growing up, decide that if I got money, I was not going to go to Bloomingdale's. I was not going to go to Macy's. I was not, she treated herself, but she didn't think about the fact that like, we still had to eat after this. And my father was like, "So where we eating? Like this outfit cute or whatever, but did you buy food, Sharon?" And she would do stuff like that all the time. Like I remember the first time she bought her first Louis Vuitton bag. It was after she had gotten like, I think this particular modeling job was like $30,000, and she went and spent like 10,000 on a bag. And my father was living. Now I'm gonna tell you that Louis Vuitton bag is still in my father's house to this day, but my sister uses it. But I think of it, and that to me made me, as a person that was growing up, and my story's a little bit different because I was homeless for a little bit. But it made me that when I started making money, I became a hoarder. Like I didn't want to spend. To this day, I still shop at the clearance. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but I do think that it was a part of my deficiency when it came to my money mindset, that I was very like, I don't want to lose it, so I'm going to save it all. Not understanding that you have to circulate your funds and you have to be intentional on where you're putting your money. So with that being said, I think that it took me a long time. It wasn't until, because I'm 43 now, y'all. It wasn't until this year that I realized that I had that limiting mindset, that I would like judge people that like you buying Gucci, but what's in your bank account, right? But I'm around millionaires now. Like in my circle, I literally talk on the phone with people who have multi-million-dollar businesses. So no, they're not buying a Gucci bag or a Fendi bag and they don't have money in their bank account. They are doing it where they do have the capital and the resources. So now I'm shifting that. Yes, Raquel, you can have those name brand items if you desire, because you are hitting the goals. So having a wealth mindset is not necessarily just things. It's like understanding that you are deserving of the capital. You're deserving, and when you spend money, you're not spending it, you're circulating it. It's leaving you and it's coming back, right, to where you are. So you have to you have to be consistent on speaking kindly and speaking positively about money and how it has relationship to you. Because if you think that it's going to repel you, I tell my kids all the time, money is in love with me. Money likes me. Money knows that I am secure and it's safe with me. It knows that I'm very intentional. Wherever I deposit it, it's going to multiply, right? Because I am a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a nurturer. So my money gets nurtured. But those are things that you have to pour and consistently say to yourself as you guys are maneuvering through. So just think about that when you're thinking about a wealth mindset is abundance, but understanding abundance does take action. Oh, money gonna love you. Look, Pamela said, I need money to love me too. You in the class, it's gonna love you, boo.
All in caps too. Like, okay, and I dropped my money mindset journal because Barbara did mention that. Yeah, I did drop that. And I dropped the my procrastination workbook that I need more than I ever could. That was the best workbook I ever created with a partner of mine. And it's funny because I use it still. I use it all the time. So if you guys need it, there you go. And then I also dropped the money mindset makeover. Yeah, all of that, because it really is something you need to actually work on daily. It's something you have to say to yourself and believe. Even if you don't believe it, say it to yourself until you believe it, because it does. Everything we say is like, it goes out into the earth, it goes out into the universe, and the universe hears us and will reciprocate what we're trying to say to it. So we want to make sure that we're talking and speaking well about ourselves and our habits and what we want to do, and make sure that what's coming out of our mouth is not verbal vomit, because that is what sometimes you get back, and that sucks. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, one of those did not work out. The procrastination workbook, I'm not sure if it actually went through, so I will put that into a Google Doc and then share it. But let me figure that out later. We'll finish this first and then go there. Okay, so where is the thing? All right. So yes, does anybody else have any comment on that money mindset, goal setting, and like what your habits are, a good money habit or a good money, or bad money habit that you? My mentor said, who said this, Pamela? Okay. One of my mentors said to work on your business 4 hours a day. There is no way that my business should be stalled when I am awake and working for 18 hours. Something is wrong. I'm doing something wrong. You're probably not. You're probably just doing something. You're probably just not. You're awake and you're working. I do the same thing. I will be writing grants and I will be writing, and realize I haven't submitted anything and I didn't get any of the things done that I thought I was working on them all day, but yet they're not done. And I don't ever understand how that works, but
because there's a difference between working on your business and working in your business.
Yep.
Working on your business, there are certain things that you have to do to create dollars. Dialing for dollars. Are you calling sponsors? Are you following up with podcasters? Who knows where you are? Like, there are certain activities that you have to do to drum business to you, and then certain activities you have to do to respond to the businesses. So when you're saying that you have your mentor and that you're working 18 hours a day, how are you acclimating your time? And do you have a clear list of what is working in your business versus working on your business? Like for me, I want to be a mayor of credit in Texas. I'm new to Texas. Well, not new, but like I'm new to this area. And I want everyone to know that I'm with credit. I want to be the mayor of credit in Killeen. In order for me to do that, I am making not just posts, I have VAs that are making door knockers for me. So for an hour a day, I drive around my town and I put the door knockers on there. That's me being intentional and doing an action that even if I spent $100 to print the door knockers, if I get 10% of that back, then I've made some money and I've made some progress, right? But people get to see who I am. So you have to understand of what are you doing and how are you marketing yourself. So there's one thing about doing your business, like I have a content day out here in Dallas. I have a TV show. I go to the studio, right? So with me going to the studio, I have content days where I will tag a whole bunch of people like, hey, if you're in Dallas, I'm going to be at this location, pull up and let's shoot content together. Well, now that I've done that action, I still have to put in the work, which is now me working in my business to create the videos, put the caption, push the hooks, right? That's not a money-making activity in essence of me making money right then and there, but that's putting eyes on me so that when I post it, it's cohesive, it has my brand vision, it has my voice, right? All of those things. So be intentional of knowing what are you doing with your hours. And I'm not trying to be funny, good old pen and paper, it's I track. What am I doing? How have I gotten it done? Because to Megan said I wrote a whole bunch of stuff. So that's one part of it. She now has to spend the time submitting what she wrote. Those are two different activities.
So
one
true.
is making sure it's on file and making sure that she's checking the boxes. The other one is executing so that she can request for the money. She has to put a block off on what it is. So if you guys are in business and are trying to figure out how do I do that, you have to figure out what activity are you doing that's going to drum business and what activity you're doing that's going to make connection to pivot you where you need to be, right? So because I work 24 hours, like I'm about to hop off of here, guys, and I have to go do something else, right? I only have 2 hours. So like y'all got me till about 10:15 because I have 2 hours that I have to dedicate to something before I go to bed to wake up at 5 o'clock to talk to my VA, right? So everyone has to figure out what does that time block look like. But great comment in the chat, Megan. Bye, Adrian. Is it Adrian? Have a good night.
Yeah.
Good night, Nora.
We're losing people. Okay, so we're just gonna run through it real fast. But okay, so what I want us to all do is kind of go through our habits and just kind of keep what is productive, what's unproductive, what is in our way. A lot of my habits were in my way, so I had to kind of address that within myself and plan better. And readjust. And everything is a process, you guys. Everything is not going to happen for you overnight. I mean, if it does, woohoo! But if it doesn't, it's okay. It's not going to be like that. A lot of times it just takes time, and really, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it takes time for you. Is if you're pouring into yourself in this way and creating better habits for yourself. It doesn't matter if it doesn't show on the outside to people. They don't see the progress or they don't see your success or whatever. But if you're having personal successes within yourself and within your life, then that's all that really matters, because you may not get success in the traditional sense of like money and things for you. You may, your successes this year or the next, in this past year may just be from like what you have gotten and accomplished for yourself. And it's not something that anybody else can see, so just, don't compare yourself to what other people are doing. Don't compare yourself to what other people have gotten done in the same amount of time. It is really all about, sometimes your successes are things that people can't see, but so those kind of years that are productive like that are kind of, they're different kind of fulfilling. So just kind of be aware of that and just don't look at everything as a whole. Everything is kind of a process. So we all know what we're influenced by. A lot of people are influenced by what we see on TV, media, celebrities, our friends, people we see in these groups that we go to, with some, like with how Raquel was saying, she's in meetings with millionaires. It's very hard not to look up, or like not look up, but like measure ourselves against what they've got going on, or try and like outdo them
and compete. Yes, compete. I don't compete where I don't compare. That's number one. You don't compete where you don't compare. You compete with the you were yesterday. Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you compete with yourself. The only thing that you can control is you, and you should always be trying to be better than the person behind you, which was you yesterday, like what she's saying. It does fully. Oh, good night, Deborah. I love everybody is just jumping off. But yeah, so this is kind of where we're at with that. And then social pressure, advertising, all that stuff, just ignore what you can and take it all in great. These are all small businesses trying to become big businesses. And the big businesses are just trying to get more, retain their customers. So ignore advertisings that don't apply to you or the things that you don't need. And focus on your actual goals. So strategies for staying focused on your goals is like recognizing tactics used by advertisers, knowing that they are just small businesses trying to make a buck too. Notice when and where you're tempted and try to avoid those situations. If you're trying to eat and be on a diet, you don't go into a donut store, and sit there and him and haw. You just avoid it. So same type of thing with money and money habits, same premise. You want to control your environment to the best of your ability, and build in pauses for yourself. If you are seeing that you're on a spending spree, or you are not saving, or you're not doing what you set your goals that you're supposed to be doing according to you, please take that time, take a moment for yourself, put in the pause in your life, like so that you have a way of pulling yourself back and reining yourself in. That part is so hard for me. So just if you don't get that right away, I understand. No one's going to judge you on it. These are things that no one's even going to test you on this. This is just information for you to be able to make your money habits better in general. And then that will make you better because you'll feel more secure in everything. Unfortunately, money does rule a lot of our lives. So when we're stressed about it, everything kind of feels like everything's up in the air and we don't know how to fix it. So having these little strategies will actually help you feel a little bit less anxious and get that cortisol level down for us women. And we gotta be able to breathe sometimes, but that really does feel like everything is like the sky is falling sometimes. So just remember that if it could just be your environment where you put yourself, what you've been doing, and just kind of take that pause for yourself. You can talk yourself out of things. If you can do that and have those conversations with yourself in the mirror, by all means, please do that. But I mean, I've never had that or actually really work for me. I've always had to I go to Raquel and say, fix it real fast. I need a pep talk, and we have those people that you go to that you do that and give you that like little boost of confidence or like boost of no, let's do what's right for me, and it feels better than doing all the roundabout stuff and trying to make everything work on the back end after you've made the bad decision. So don't play catch up with yourself. It sucks. Calculate your hours or days an item is worth. So like if you think about your hourly wage or what you make a day, or a sale, maybe if you're an entrepreneur, and then divide that cost divide the cost of the item that you want to get or the money you want to spend on your hourly wage, and quantify that purchase in terms of like a very valuable thing equals your time, or like is it not really worth your time? Because time is our only real asset in this life. So it's like, do we really want to spend the extra time so that we could purchase this one thing, or is it not worth it in that sense? Yes, Raquel. You keep turning on your okay. I saw your.
I'm just agreeing. Yes.
I saw your video come back. I was like, yes. Okay. Thank you, Benny. So that's pretty much the gist of those things. Like if you are having a hard time staying focused, make these goals so they're visible to you at all times. Like I have some on my phone. I talk to myself in I have an app. It's like a mindfulness app or whatever, but you talk to it and you give it does positive affirmations with you. But when I re-listen to it, it's me talking back to me. So it's like it really does it has an effect on how I do things sometimes. And it is good just to remember what I'm working for and what my actual goals were a long time ago. I don't have a money flow chart. I don't think we have a money flow chart either, do we?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I was like, I'm not sure, Carol, what you're asking. I don't have a money flow chart either. I don't think. I feel like I do though, but I don't think I do.
We can look at it, and if we find one, we'll drop it. We'll drop
Yes,
it in PDF because we got you.
Okay, thank you.
Carol.
So staying focused is going to be your biggest nemesis because life's and like Raquel was saying, like sometimes you're in the middle of things and like that this is not going according to your goals, and you kind of just like you start wanting to do things on the back end, so it's like he's like, okay, I'll fix this later and we'll do this, I'll borrow from this person to pay this person, and you're already fixing the problem before you've even made the bad decision. So that's kind of where we're trying to avoid those issues. I know I've done that. More often than I would like to admit. So let's avoid that and start making better decisions as a group, as a whole. And then remember, I was like, we kind of wind down for today. We are going to figure out what our goals are, how they make them take action, and what we need to do to actually implement the goals. Give them a timeline, when you want to have it completed, when you want to have the middle part completed. I would break it down to very specific things. Before we get off the call tonight, I'm going to actually download the a different version of the one I dropped in the chat, because that one, when you opened it, it did all kinds of crazy stuff and it was not a chart any longer. So just give me a second, I'll do that. And then pretty much we want to know how you're going to do it, what you're going to do, and then share your plans with somebody else that will hold you accountable, because accountability is more important than most of us realize. And if you tell somebody else about it and they're going to say, hey, and ask about it later, sometimes that motivates me to get the thing done, because I don't want to sit there and explain to somebody that I didn't do it, and it sucks. So it's like, you're like, okay, well, and that, for me, that does motivate me. So that is what works for me. I don't know if that will work for any of you guys, but if it does, feel free to have
steal it. She said, yeah. Steal it. Apply it. Yeah, and for a record, everyone who participates in the program that we have going on right now, at the end of the course, I am doing a giveaway. So I definitely want you guys to participate, not just verbally, but the assignment. So just for clarification, what is the assignment for this week, Megan? They need to turn in the documentation.
Yep, we're going to see their goals. We want their goals written out and the SMART goals filled out. There's little forms on here: specific, measurable, action-oriented, reachable, and time-bound.
Yep. So the person who is the most, every time you guys submit, what I'm going to do is, because life does life, every time you guys submit what is due from last week, we're going to put your names in. And then at the end of the course, we're going to pick 3 winners that's going to win something. So we haven't decided what that is. I might ask you guys what you guys would like to win at the end. If it's just the gift card, or if it's a session with me and Megan, one-on-one dives in. Outside of Lesko, we'll figure that out. But I want to do a giveaway, because I want you guys to have a buy-in to actually reach your goals. Okay. Stephanie asked if you can drop the link again. Are you talking about the link for? Yeah, we can drop the link for the chart. So do it one more time, Megan. The assignment for today is what?
It's going to be the SMART goals. We want to see your money goals. I'm going to drop it right now.
Yep, we're dropping it like it's hot, so that we can give y'all the rest of y'all Sunday.
Not like it's hot, but
Okay, like it's lukewarm, because we got,
cool.
We got oldies. Yeah, we got older needs.
Right now. All right, hold on, give me 1 second. Where did it go? Gosh, Benny, I feel like you laughed at us a lot during this chat. I just want to tell you that. Because I just was going through it. All I see is Benny laughing.
That's okay, Benny. I appreciate you, because we got to keep
it. My SMART goal just became?
What? Having better knees? Because I still got 43-year-old knees. Okay, when I was younger, I was flipping. I had really good knees. That's why our knees bad now. Y'all remember them dances from back in the day?
Man, listen. All right, copy, paste. Got it right here.
All right, we're going to drop it in the chat. So, Megan, do you have anything else? We have like 5 minutes.
Okay, yes, I'm gonna drop my other thing too. It's not letting me do that right now here. It's not letting me put it. It says it's open, so it won't let me put it in the chat again.
Do you want me to put you talking about the PDF?
Yeah, isn't that what they were asking for?
Okay, I'll drop it. Yeah, I'll drop it. I'll drop it in the chat. Don't worry about it. I got it.
It went. Okay, I'm gonna
there we go.
This, and then putting this in there, flatten it, download it. All right, so now I know for sure that this is gonna come out correct instead of like crazy like on Word. You'll bring it next week, because you're gonna show up each week, right, Stephanie? Right.
The first Stephanie, one came out for me. The first
it did.
Yeah. Anyway, the assignment's on page 8.
Yeah. Thank you. I can't see mine, so that's why. Okay. And then everybody was able to download the Money Mindset Makeover. Yes. And then the
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Came out okay.
I got all of them.
Okay, cool. They all came out okay, like when you opened them up, because maybe it was just my computer.
Look good so far. on the
Okay,
cell
yeah.
phone.
Yeah, it looked good for me too. It looked good for me too, Megan.
Even the procrastination one, Your Guide to Procrastination, because that's the one that came out all weird on mine.
Yeah, look good. Thank you.
Yeah.
You guys go. My bad. Never mind.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
All right, awesome sauce. We are good then. Everybody, we will see you next week, and there are going to be some changes to the little area that we're going to be in, but we will let you know how that go as they happen. We'll let you know ahead of time so they're not going to surprise you. And that's pretty much
Real
it.
MVP today is Benny saying he made a folder. Let's go, Benny. Let's
Right?
go. Benny said I'm gonna be
I'm gonna put
successful.
all your
That's what I'm
emojis.
talking about.
Mm.
You
And
was
I
gonna
need
do
all them
something for me,
laughters. I
Megan.
love it.
Yeah. Stay.
All right, bye guys. Thank you guys for being so amazing. Remember that you guys can do it. You just need a plan and then you need the action behind it. I keep on telling people knowledge is not knowing. Knowledge is the implementation of what you know. So knowledge is power if you implement it. If you just know it and you acting like you don't know it, then you ain't got no knowledge. And everybody in here has it. We know what we have to work on, whether it's consistency, procrastination, whatever it is. You guys got this. So thank you for coming out and giving us your Sunday. I'm about to go stalk my 7-year-old and make sure he goes to bed.
Okay.
Bye, y'all.
Pamela, it is called the Money Mind. Like this is the Lesko Boost Pro or Credit Boost Pro. That's what it's called. It took me a second. It's Credit
Megan?
Boost. Yes. Stay.
You was gonna give me something?
Yeah. I'm gonna get you that. I want to go over your application real fast. Do you mind?
Okay.
Can you put it in the chat for me so I can see it, or do you want to email it to me so I can see what you've got for your budget? I just want to go over it real fast.
Let me email it to you.
Okay.
Good night.
Good night, Roger.
I'll email it to you, Megan.
Right,
no, whatever, motherfucker.
Pamela, are you still with us? No.
Good night.
All right. Good night. I'm gonna email you back tonight. So are you gonna stay awake or no? Sorry.
Yes, I'm
okay. Yeah, team. All right, Pamela, I just texted it to you. Okay. All right, then I will talk to you then.